Well, it says I'm live, and I've been trying to change my settings here. I've been trying to get the better camera on me. I got this one's. I might have to do this one up a little bit because it is getting too much of the light and everything. But we're in here. We're in here, and we're doing our thing. And I was hoping to have a little bit better video today, but it's not wanting to cooperate with me. So I'm just going to walk around and hopefully everything will work out all right the way it is here. Hope everybody's doing good this Sunday morning. Daylight saving time kicked in. So if you're from Australia or Nova Scotia or somewhere else, you may be thinking, was Mike late today? No, I'm just reverted to daylight saving time. Let me move this over here so I can, and next to a kill switch Jimmy's got. I guess we're gonna put a kill switch on something else. We put kill switches on just about everything, so it keeps us from having issues. And this light's getting kind of bad. Hey, Patrick, how are you doing? I'm moving around here so you can be in the dark here for a second. So I get a light on. I'm gonna change rooms. Yeah, here we go. I'll change things up a little bit so I can, so I can get a little bit of light in here. It's not too bright. We're not there on the shop floor. I'm trying to use my new camera. It's not working out right. Driving school for the big rigs. Wow. Fantastic. Fantastic, Patrick. Let me switch around some lights here. I'm gonna try to make steady tell what I've got here. Moving around from place to place. I hope y'all can hear me all right. Can you hear me okay? Might not, when I switch phones, is the audio okay? Let me double check. Can you hear the audio fine, Patrick? I don't know if I got the audio set right. I switched it to my other phone. I don't know if I switched off the audio for doing that. Did you hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Can you hear me okay? That's one thing I want to double check. Let me see if I can change the settings on this. Oh gosh. Can't change the settings on that part. Everything's good. Okay, so you hear me good, you see me good. Everything's fine. Okay. I just want to make sure because I'm switching things up today. I'm walking around and just doing some things different here in the shop because I don't have the good camera that I usually have. It won't work. But it's working partly, but it's not wanting to work the way I want it to work. So I'm just using the laptop, the laptop camera, and hopefully I can get some things going here. Hopefully everybody can hear me fine and see me fine. I'm not getting a lot of response in here. Oh me. Today's a funky day. But I'm out here I'm gonna take a swig here. I hope everybody in the United States will get out and vote Tuesday. And if you can tell by my attire, I want you to vote the color of my shirt. Red, if possible. I mean, I definitely like to see, doggone those lights are, I hope they're not blinding y'all too much. I'm gonna have to get this up. This camera is not the best camera I've got. I had a real good camera set in the last couple of weeks off the iPhone, but for some reason or other, it doesn't want to pick up on YouTube today. YouTube gets funky like that. Some days it'll work great, some days it won't. So we'll have to see. And I do hate those lights and I can't cut them out. I'll be too dark in here if I do. So we kind of have to live with it. I guess one thing I could do, hold on a second. Let me see if I can. Oh. I don't know if that helps. That helps pretty good. That does pretty good. Now I'm using the natural light. And I don't have those big shop lights blinding me like I was. But I hope everybody's doing okay. It's a crazy situation out there now. We got a lot of tough races and everything that are going on all across the United States. And they're calling for a red wave. So in celebration of that, I'm wearing my red shirt. And hopefully that's true. Hey, Joy. Yeah, I saw you post about the Facebook. The Facebook police been after you, Joy? I understand how they're doing and everything. Facebook is doing some crazy things. Let me set this down a little bit. I'm trying to get this situated. I got the door open, so I got this natural light coming in as opposed to the shop lights. The shop lights were kind of reflecting on me there a little bit. Yeah, I hope, what happened to you on Facebook, Joey? I didn't catch the drift. I mean, I agree that they often, mess with stuff and all kind of things like that, but I didn't know what happened to you on that particularly. Oh, nothing happened to you. Okay. I thought I've had I think I've had once, well, not strike. I've had warnings before saying that I was insulting somebody. I had some crazy lefties that were jumping all over me on things, and I came back with a sharp answer, and Facebook didn't like my answer. Hey, Chris, how are you? Yeah, you can't. Well, yeah, I started to say LOL on that, Chris. I've seen you and I know what you've been posting. Let me get. I'm still trying to. This light's changing on me here a little bit. I got the skylight that's coming through on my shop there a little bit, but these overhead lights are just reflecting too bad on this particular camera. I used the new camera last week, worked fine. This week I set it up. It looked like it was going to work fine, and boom, it quit. It didn't line up with it. Somehow or another, this new software that Max got between the iPhones and the computer worked good on some of the programs, but not all of them.
Yeah, yeah, I've had some more warnings, and that's what I've had, and they would, you know, say that I would not hate speech. Well, I argued with them on one of them. They said this is sort of hate speech, and then I went back and I said no, it's not, and they went back and rescinded it and said I'm okay. But somehow or another, some people think they can flag you for just about anything, and hopefully one of these days that we'll get stuff straightened out. But I tell you what, Facebook's demise is coming. I think I'm afraid they're going to uh, go the way of gosh, I can't even think of that. What was that social media program before Facebook that everybody used to be on? And it just faded away. The ones that, yeah, I know it. Facebook's funky, and they are losing money hand over foot. Uh, you look at their stock prices have tanked, and I don't know where MySpace. That's the one I was trying to think of. Yeah, I'm afraid Facebook may go the way of MySpace, and Zuckerberg may be out and about before you know it, because I don't think they got the willpower to do right. I mean, they've got some. Yeah, Red. I hope Red's looking good. I hope Zeldin does good up there in New York State for you. Get out and vote for Lee Zeldin. I mean, that Kathy Holcomb up there, she's a nut, and she just as left as they come. And she's never been elected, but she acts like she's the incumbent. She acts like that she's the assigned one, but she's the unassigned or unvoted governor of New York. Yeah, yeah, it definitely MySpace is, gone by the wayside, and it was huge at one time, but then Facebook, I'm afraid, may go that way too if they don't watch it. Facebook has got to realign this, getting away from this meta stuff. This meta stuff that they've got is crazy. I just don't understand what they're trying to. Hey, Walter, I sure do. Tudor Dixon seems to be a pretty good candidate up your way. I hope she makes Whitner. You know, didn't Whitner got on there the other day and said, "Oh, we only had the schools closed 3 months." Everybody in the nation knows that she had closed them almost for 2 years, and she declared that she only closed them for 3 months. Well, I hope you know, her memory of things will fade quickly. I'm afraid. I hope Michigan people will say, we don't need this idiot. I don't know. They say that one's tight. That and that race and the New York race are neck and neck. And uh, I sure hope people that want to make a change will get out there and vote, because it things definitely need to change out there right now. They definitely need to change. So I hope everybody. That's why I said. That's why I wore the red shirt today. I wore that. I wore that on purpose to remind everybody, vote this color. Vote this color come Tuesday. I've already voted. I went down Thursday or Friday and did early voting down here in Gaston County. So I've already got my vote in, and y'all know how I voted. I did my best to keep it red. I kept it red all the way down from dog catcher on up. I mean, if they weren't Republican, I didn't vote for them. I mean, that's the first time I believe I've ever done that. I used to kind of pick and choose on things, but we've gotten to the point now that the ideology of the left is so bizarre. I want nothing to do with it, period, in the state of North Carolina. I want everything to kind of go back, swing back the other direction. We have had so many of these progressives out there that I want them out. And I have a good friend's son who was running for Superior Court judge, and he got put in as his dad's replacement. His dad retired, and I couldn't vote for him. He's a Democrat, and as long as he's got that D in front of his name, I'm sorry, I wasn't going to vote for him. And so he may go down in flames because of it too, because he may not be as radical as some, but I just can't take a chance. And then Sam Irvin's son is running in for a district court judgeship, and I didn't vote for him either. Whew, I'm about to sneeze. So, sorry about that, guys. Real life here. I had to sneeze there. Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see, anxiously awaiting to see how this election goes. I hope it doesn't get all skewed out of place like some of these major elections did in 2020, where we don't know the outcome for a week or two. I mean, that's crazy. We should be able to, with all the electronic voting we have now, we should be able to get that and get it done and get it done quickly. I mean, on ours, we just mark the ballot and then you shoot it through that machine and it'll tell you if it's recorded your vote. So, that's the way it should be. And I hope it's that way everywhere. This mail-in stuff, I'm not a big proponent of mailing in anything, and being able to mail in your vote is a definite no, in my opinion. Hey, Jerome, how are you? I just, like I said, I hope everybody sees my red shirt and realizes which way we need to vote come Tuesday, because we definitely need a change in the U.S. And, hey, Nevs Nova. Yeah, I'm afraid it might take days on some of it. Some of these real close races too. I mean, it's going to be hard to declare because it's going to be right down to counting the mail-in ballots, and which irks me to no end. I mean, I just don't feel like we ought to hold up major elections over these mail-ins. And that 99% of people tell you that's the part of the voting process that you don't trust is the mail-in ballot. Oh, I know it. I know it. And the mail is not secure. If the mail was secure, if you had to sign for it, if you had to verify things, it'd be different. I mean, when they want you to get something certified, then you do have to sign for stuff and all that. But, the voting process on the mail-in part is just so weak, it's pathetic. It is the weakest link of our voting system is mail-in ballots. And anybody that feels differently, I'm sorry. I don't like that. I would like for you to go down, tell them where your address. I mean, all you have to do in state of North Carolina, you don't have to show an ID. All you have to do is verify your address, and then you're in. Oh, I know it. Yeah, the postal system sucks. That's for sure. All those drop boxes, that's the most, that ought to be the most illegal thing out there right now is those drop boxes. I just do not understand that at all. I mean, you've got room for so much error there. I mean, anybody and his brother can go out there and drop off 200 ballots like that. Oh, I know it. That's the thing about it. You need to be able to make an honest election. You just need to verify. You need to be able to verify some way, shape, or form. The person either stands in front of you, and if he's willing to perjure himself by saying he is somebody else, then that's a whole different case. But I think most honest people will not perjure themselves in front of a register. You know, there is at least a little bit of checks and balance. I don't understand why we don't make people show their driver's license. 99% of the people have driver's license. And if you don't have driver's license, you can always get an ID from the Department of Motor Vehicles. Just show that you're a United States citizen. I mean, that's the other thing. How many non-citizens do you think are voting in our elections? I would venture to say there's way too many. Way too many. Yeah. Well, yeah, most people do have an honest job. Most people try to do the right thing, and it's tough. It's tough to think about the people that make it their goal to skew in an election, to go out there and make sure, see if you can harvest votes, make sure that you can tell people, oh yeah, go ahead and vote this way, just sign here and all that sort of stuff. I mean, that's what we've got right now. We've got a very skewed system on some of this stuff. And then all the Democrats are saying, oh, you're deniers. No, we're not deniers. We're conveyors of the truth. We want to have a truth situation. Whereas if you want to vote legally, that's fine. If you're a legal citizen of the United States, if you got a legal ID, fine, vote, no problem. But if you're a felon, if you're somebody that is here illegally, if for some reason or other, if you're not registered to vote, you shouldn't be able to try to sneak a vote in. And that's the problem. We got some people trying to sneak votes in now. Well, it is. It's a lesser of two evils in a lot of ways, Chris. The problem is right now we got it's a pretty well clear picture who the evil is. I mean, it's a pretty clear, it's as clear as anything to me who the evil party is. I mean, when they can be swayed, I mean, when Nancy Pelosi gets up there and Chuck Schumer and Joe Biden, and they all collude together for some weird legislation, and then have some of these weird people. I mean, there's so many people in these department heads that I wish we could get out. I mean, the Department of Energy, the Department of Transportation. Look at the idiot we got running the Department of Transportation, Pete Buttigieg. That boy couldn't ride a bicycle, much less run the Department of Transportation, and he's doing a crappy job of it. And so many people think, oh, well, he's good. He's it. No, he's not. He couldn't fix a pothole in this city he was a mayor at, they said. He couldn't even, dictate to tell somebody to fix a pothole. So how do you expect him to fix the woes of the whole United States? And he has little or no management skills for anything with transportation. I mean, he couldn't crawl in a tractor trailer truck and learn and even start it probably. I mean, it's pathetic. Well, I didn't realize that. I didn't know veterans with a dishonorable discharge. But I guess, I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that unless it was something really bad. I mean, if they were a veteran and this did something, I don't know. I don't know what all you can get discharged for in the Army. I've never known anybody to get dishonorably discharged. Yeah, I'm just, as far as, I give a lot of weight to the veterans, one way or the other. And did y'all see this? I mean, Joe Biden made me sick the other day talking about veterans. He's going to try his best to make people think that his son was a war hero in Iraq. His son served overseas, but he came back and died of cancer. But Joe Biden the other day in his speech, he said he was talking about the war, and he mistook the one the Ukrainian war and said Iraq, and he said, "Yeah, Iraq war." So that's the one my son died in. Well, everybody knows he didn't die in Iraq, but he wanted to. Yeah, he may have. Yeah, that this burn pit thing they're talking about. I'm not even certain about that because he was a JAG lawyer. He wasn't even involved with much on those burn pits. I think they're using that as an excuse. I mean, that's about the only thing I could think of. But I mean, catching cancer from that, I mean, that's not 100% given. I mean, that's like, so much Agent Orange stuff. I mean, there's some people that did get sick with that, some that didn't. Well, yeah, that's what he claims. He claims he did that. But yeah, the other day, though, he said, yeah, Iraq. He said, yeah, my son died in the Iraq war. Well, he didn't die in the Iraq war. He died stateside from cancer. But, I'm sorry. And I don't wish anybody to lose their children. I mean, that's horrific there on your mental state. I mean, that's tough. And now I'm getting a little bit of a shower out here. I don't know if y'all can hear the rain on my roof. I'm getting a little bit of a shower. I got my door open and we're getting a nice little rainstorm here. Well, not a storm, just rain. But anyway, I just 68 and humid. That's about what it is here. It's about 60, 65, 68 degrees. I mean, it's humid here. I mean, I'm afraid if it keeps staying like it is, the trees are going to start blooming again. I mean, it's warm. It's warm down here. We've only had one or two little cold snaps, and the rest of the time down here, it's been. I mean, my grass out in my pasture is greening back up again. So I'm not having much. Well, I guess you're going to vote red. You're going to vote for Lee Zeldin, aren't you, Nova? Vote for Lee Zeldin out there come Tuesday, or if you didn't have early voting. But like I said, I already got out. I've already voted. I should be wearing my I voted shirt, a sticker, I mean. Oh, let me try to set up here a little bit. But I'm hoping everybody will. I mean, this is a very important election, and the Democrats are running scared right now, and hopefully so. Yeah, hopefully so. I mean, hopefully we can turn things around in some of these blue states that, people are sick and tired of being lied to. I mean, I've been watching some of the, Fox News gives the best news reports. The rest of them are just so swayed. It's pathetic. I mean, everything that CBS and ABC and NBC, I mean, that's a wing of the Democratic Party is all that is. They've tried to blow this Nancy Pelosi thing up with her husband and is making him really look like he hired a gay prostitute, and that went bad is what it sounds like almost. I mean, you don't know. They won't show the body cam. This guy, they tried to say he was a Trump supporter, which is the biggest lie. I mean, shoot, Trump couldn't get two supporters out in San Francisco, probably. And, for somebody to say that was going on. But Paul Pelosi has had too many too many crazy things going on. And both times they won't produce the body cam. They've either his wreck that he had that he should be serving time for hitting somebody head on, hit somebody head on while he's drunk, and they are washing that. They're paying off that guy. The guy, I think the guy was an illegal alien too. I don't know. He was a foreigner or from Mexico or somewhere, and I think they're paying him off. But the body cam might show that there was another person in the car with him, with Paul Pelosi, but they won't show that. And you know, it's crazy. They're hiding so much about him, and then every time Nancy stays in Washington and he's left alone, he gets his butt in trouble. Yeah, he was charged with it, but they've already released. He's already gotten off of that. He's already got off his DUI. He was charged with a DUI, and then they cut it down to like a misdemeanor and gave him public service. And then they said something that he had already done will count for his public service. I mean, it was so bizarre. It was so one-sided. Anybody in his right mind knows that was politically skewed, something terrible. It was the DAs and everybody, they all had it together. You know, don't mess with Paul Pelosi. That's Nancy's husband. Don't do this, don't do that. And then he got off of that, and then now this other thing's happened. Now, I mean, I hate that the guy got hit in the head with a hammer. I mean, that's crazy. But I mean, you know, I think most everybody saw the NBC report. That NBC didn't like their report because it wasn't one-sided for Nancy. It sounded too bad. But they got a report about him, Paul Pelosi, actually opening the door himself and didn't seem to be in any danger, and then walked back toward the guy, and the guy struck him. Yeah, we're gonna have to start registering hammers. Yeah, if you got a Stanley hammer or what's some of the others, if you got any kind of hammer at all, you're gonna have to register it now in California, probably. I mean, that's bizarre. S-Wing, yeah, that's one. S-Wing's the one's got a lot of hammers out there. Yeah, so I guess S-Wing Corporation is going to have to start making you register your hammer. Pathetic. Outlaw hammers. Yeah, we're going to have to outlaw hammers, and we're going to have to or register hammers. I guess we'll have to sign for nails if we go get nails. I don't know. This world is upside down right now. I mean, it's a pathetic situation. How this world's turned up. I mean, I don't know how you explain some of this stuff. I mean, when you look at what's going on, it's hard to even explain it. Yeah, I've lost many a hammer. So, yeah, I'd hate to have one registered and it show up in a murder scene, wouldn't you? Yeah. Yeah, we got a mixed up world out there. I mean, Patrick, how's the thought of Ukraine over where you're at? I mean, you're actually close to Ukraine. We're not. I mean, that's on the other side of the world to us, although we're funding it real heavy. And I don't know what we're going to be able to do on that. I mean, we can't continually fund Ukraine. I mean, the war machine, the big industrial war complex that we've got out here in the United States, they definitely want us to keep funding that because that's their profit. I mean, you think about the industrial the the military industrial complex. They have kept us in a war for 40 years constantly. We're always in a war. Well, we got plenty of the idiots over here too. We got too many liberal idiots. I don't know how Austria is. Austria more conservative or liberal over there? Do they have the people that want the government to do everything for them, or do they have people that want to actually get out there and work and make something of themselves? Oh, I know it. It's it's a crazy world out there. Well, I've often wondered how Austria was, and Germany, their chancellors they've had lately have been kind of idiotic, and now they're suffering. They destroyed all their nuclear uh, power plants, shut them down, and now they're scrambling to get heat and everything. They're going to have to fire up coal mines again, and rely on Putin's oil. And oh, I mean, it's a crazy situation. So some of the EU countries, I know that they've bitten off more than they chew. That's for sure. Yeah. Well, and that's a crazy world over there when they got and we don't realize uh, through this funding we've been funding the Nazis. I mean that's counterproductive to anything we do. But they're talking about what gets me is there's no accountability of any of the money that's being sent to Ukraine. Yeah. Well, I often wonder about that. And you let one policy get too deep, whether it's in the United States or Austria or Germany or England, and that's what we've got right now. We've got the left. The left has gone too far. Uh, I mean, the Democrats over here are just crazy, and I don't like it one bit. And so, we're going to have to we're just going to have to get stuff straightened out. I hope we can, you know, come Tuesday. I hope we make some headways. Like I say, vote this color come Tuesday. I wore this on purpose today, so everybody can look and see what colors I'm wearing. Yeah. Well, guys, I hate that my camera didn't work as good today. Uh, I'm gonna try to I'm gonna try to figure out why that's working. I mean, it works fine on the. I got it up here, and it works fine from here down to the computer on all the internal programs. But when I go to YouTube or StreamYard, it's not letting that camera be recognized. So I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to kind of study it and see if I can figure out what's going on with it because it's definitely got me perplexed right now. But that's neither one way or the other. I think everybody, I've got a good signal, so hopefully everybody hears it fine and sees it fine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kansas City Chief colors. Yeah, that Kansas City Chiefs is they probably won't be the Chiefs long. That's another political thing, hot topic. We've got some local schools around here. We got one called the Red Raiders. We got a bunch of the so-called Indians, and I've got Indian blood in me. It doesn't bother me in the least. I'm not one that's looked like I just fell out of a reservation, but I mean, I got some Cherokee blood in me, and actually I can. We got a historian. He traced my family lineage all the way back to Pocahontas. So I've got actual Indian blood in me, and that stuff doesn't offend me. But you got the Braves hanging on, you got the Florida Seminoles hanging on, and you've got Kansas City Chiefs hanging on. That the Cleveland's already had to change them, and the Washington Redskins had. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy that they think that was demeaning the Indian race. I mean, to me, I thought it glorified it. I mean, if you were backing the Redskins, I mean, you were back. You were glorifying the Redskins and how they, Chicago Blackhawks. There's a few of them, but around here we got like the East Gaston Warriors. They got the Indian stuff on theirs, and then the Red Raiders, the South Point Red Raiders, which is another school just down the road from them. And we've got people trying to get the school boards and everybody to change that name. Well, it's going to do no good. And people like that name, so you stepped on a few toes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, it's not derogatory. It's not, nothing about it is derogatory. But they just want to make a name. They have nothing better to do than to get out in front of somebody. Well, you too, Patrick. I'm glad you got in here and chatted a little bit with us. You take care. It's up. It's what, 4 or 5 in the afternoon for you, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I just don't understand some of these things. I mean, leave some of this stuff alone. I mean, no harm has been done by any of these mascots. I mean, I don't know any Indian that has been attacked by being a Washington Redskin, unless it was a Dallas Cowboy fan that attacked a Washington Redskin fan. But all these name changing and all that sort of crap just bothers me. I mean, I like the name Kansas City Chiefs. I like the name Atlanta Braves. I like the name Florida Seminoles. I mean, in Florida Seminole, they even actually have a real Indian from one of the Seminole tribes ride out on the horse and, and do the era and everything. I mean, I think that's cool. That's showing and that's promoting the heritage of the Seminole Indian. And whoever thinks that's bad, now, of course, when they start doing the chant, boy, that's tough on the opposing team. So, I guess that's one way of looking at it. But I think hopefully we'll all be on the same voting team this week. So everybody get out there and vote the right way. I mean, that's what I'm after. And I'm going to sign off on that note. I'm going to get up here and try to correct a few things. But I'm going to sign off. Everybody go out and vote this Tuesday or before if you can. I mean, some places have got early voting open today. But if you can vote and get her done, as old Larry would say. Get her done. See you guys.